what that means.
It's funny, literally, you might have timed that perfectly for the live stream, not recording yet. Now recording, but there's the notification, I'm guessing. Nope, that's not for us, that's for one of the others. Mute. Wish I could fucking mute AEW Rampage.
Nah, man, it's Friday night and you know what that means.
We're Top Rope Tokes and we're here to talk about, I don't even want to say the B show. It's like the D show at this point.
Rampage is so good. I am absolutely enjoying every moment of Rampage. You shut your mouth. Okay. I can point out so many things that were good about Rampage today, and I will do that right now. Okay.
We are Top Rope Tokes. I'm just saying, that guy over there.
I am Range of Motions, and Rampage was my jam, baby. I think.
Yeah, Range of Motions. Rank those top moments from AEW Rampage and have at it. Okay. Give me your top 5.
All right. So first off, Dylon is the greatest rapper of all time. Second of all, okay. So second of all,
the show happened.
There was wrestling on tonight and I got to watch it.
Number 3, Jade was on TV.
Jade did kick somebody.
Not only that, but her outfit and her, I'm not trying to be one of those people like on the superficial aspect, but she always she always has good looking outfits. Always done up real nice, and tonight's was something different, and it was nice.
Yeah, Jade was looking like money.
How's it going, Brandon? We are trying to force ourselves into some positive thoughts over this AEW Rampage.
Rampage was great.
Top Flight can have another match together before his brother gets hurt and goes away for another year.
Is that really the because I feel like that might be the best thing we got out of today. I think that might be the best thing we got. Because I'm excited to see both the Dante brothers. And AR Fox, because AR Fox is dope.
Now, see, that shouldn't have been one of the best things of the night. One of the best things of the night should have been the fact that we had Roosh versus Bandito. That should have been one of the best things of the night. Because that should have been a great match. It should have been.
Roosh and Bandito in the same, in the ring against each other. It should be a can't miss kind of match, but this was
it was starting off good.
Yeah, it started off with some wrestling, like
what you would expect a match between Roosh and Bandito to be like, but the end, oh my god.
No. Yeah, they didn't let Bandito showcase his bandito-ness,
and they had him win in like a fluke with a distraction type of way, undermining his entire win that he got at the end with a fucking roll-up alpha distraction.
Yeah, this match had the potential to be the best match. I mean, it still might have been. No, it wasn't.
No, but just by the competitors involved, even though we had a great Sammy versus Danielson 2 out of 3 falls match on Dynamite, Rush versus Bandito at any given time is a match that should be up for best match of the week, even without like a pay-per-view build to it or anything. It should be one of those matches.
Yeah, just because of how good those two guys are.
Rush did a couple of his tropes. He attacked before the start of the match, went to use some, cables and whip people again. And then, of course, to continue the trend, it was a lucha, so they had to try to take his mask off during the match.
Of course.
For John fucking Silver, not even 10. 10 at least would have made sense. Well, at least, I mean, Silver does a little bit, but 10 would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah, well, 10 must not have been there tonight or something. They're like, we got to keep the storyline going forever. This storyline that nobody is invested in.
And the other guy's gone, so, like, you can't even do it the way that you wanted to do it. But, yeah, because right. Jose, the assistant, slid in that chair to kind of cause a distraction, goes rip off the mask. Silver comes down. Jose just runs away from what he was doing with Bandito and runs at Silver to get laid out. Roll up, win. Bandito even rolls out and almost does like a celebration as if he was like shocked. It was big surprise, big what do you call it, upset win kind of situation, when in reality should have just been a great fucking match.
Big upset win against Rush, who doesn't beat anybody ever in AEW. Like AEW, I'm an AEW fan, but the one thing that they've got to stop doing is trying to make you care about people based on what they've done elsewhere. Because when they come to AEW, I need to see them do something in AEW or I don't care.
That's why at least like when Swerve and Keith Lee came in, and they came in very close to each other after, contract situations came out, at least they gave them a story. Like, hey, there's these two guys that just came from the other company at the same time. So you had a tag team go up to them and say, we're tired of you people just coming from over there. So it put them into some kind of story right away.
Yeah.
And you got to build a tag team out of it and continue that.
Rush, since he's been in AEW, has pretty much just been there to look good and lose.
It's like, hey, this guy has been around the world and he's very, very good. Watch him lose. But he's
gonna lose every match. They don't show his record, but I feel like I've never seen him win.
I feel like it's not that often.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe when we were there at Blood and Guts / Royal Rampage that if I'm not mistaken, the dude's very first match that he ever competed in was the Royal Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had been on TV as in just showed up, but you start him off in the Royal Rampage, a match he's not going to win.
But he was in that though, and he lost like he does all the time. Plus,
I don't know how much of it has to do with like the story being thrown off the rails because of Andrade.
Yeah. I don't know either, but either way.
Take him off TV then for a little bit. Cancel the storyline, come up with something different.
Just making Rush lose. He's good. Really good. And he doesn't need to just keep losing every week.
Right, or that's another way to go about it. Don't have him be on and losing as often as he does. Like, all you have to do is at least spread it out some, as opposed to consistently see him be bad guy who loses.
Yeah. Like, It's like they're a bad guy to lose when they need a bad guy to lose right now. It's like, are you not at the top of the card and we need a bad guy? Roosh.
It's not even fun.
They just want him to keep on doing his losing.
So they're just looking at the notes, and I'm like, man, there's just so much to not even talk about.
No, there are so many things to talk about. Look, we got a cage match. Could talk about that.
Yeah, in the most non-said, I don't know, like the pro. At least Christian usually gives a good promo.
Yeah.
Everything about tonight's segment pretty much just sucked. I mean,
yeah. So my summary of this was Christian comes out talking shit about Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy comes out. He wants Luchasaurus in a steel cage at Full Gear.
Yeah.
Cage and Luchasaurus cost him everything. Christian comes up, has a good point here, and he says, "What?" He's like, "What do you mean?" Basically, like, what are you talking about? Everything. And I'm like, that's a good point. What does he mean by everything?
Yeah, because they were like, you cost us his first chance at a championship. We had moved past you. And he's like, but you cost me multiple matches. You cost me everything. And he says the time that he ran with him as a tag team was a waste of time. If you didn't have that time as a tag team, nobody would give a fuck about you.
Yeah. Who would you be? He would probably be like on Dark.
And I mean, I guess this is a better, line of thought than the actual promo was, but at least that makes sense as to why he would say, thank God you got your dad's Hollywood good looks. And started talking more about the dad before Jungle Boy grabs Christian. Luchasaurus comes in with that. It was so quick there, I didn't even see how he hit him. But that choke slam through the chair, though.
Yeah.
Nothing on the show is worth hit of the night to me.
Hey, man, there was a lot of things. I really, really want Luchasaurus to start using that headbutt more often, because I don't watch other wrestling promotions, but it's the best headbutt in wrestling to me. As in the wrestlings that I watch.
Even throughout some of the ones of the years that are more notable, it's such a good headbutt. I'm thinking,
like, over the years, I can't think of a better headbutt. He needs to use that headbutt. I love it. Like, nobody pulls it off as good.
But that choke slam, usually, you've seen people do things on top of, chairs that are laying flat on the mat. You've seen people slammed into chairs that are sitting outright, but not too often is it a choke slam through like an individual chair where you completely see the chair is mangled after.
Jungle Boy's young. He can take it. He's fine. He's got a strong back.
He's still got boy in his name. He's young.
Yeah, even though they're trying to make him Jack Perry.
Yeah, there was some awkward commentary at the beginning.
Boy.
Yeah, some of the commentary in the very beginning talking about this, like during his entrance and stuff, where it felt like they were very much trying to push that narrative of getting away from Jungle Boy. But it was so awkward. I can't even remember what they said. It was just like they were stuttering through and trying to make something about nothing.
Yeah. It's just, they've been calling him Jungle Boy Jack Perry or Jack Perry, or they've been getting getting away from the Jungle Boy part, or at least making sure that they say Jack Perry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tonight they like referred to him like Jungle. They might have said Jack or something. They said a line about since he was a boy or something. I'm like, oh come on! Like all you have, it's pro wrestling. Just say a different name, have him say it, and then just roll with it. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, we're not calling him Jungle Boy anymore. We're calling him Jungle Jack or whatever whatever you want to go with, but you don't have to.
I mean, don't say that though, because the Ass Boys. No matter what you call them, they're the Ass Boys.
But that's to give them shit though.
Oh yeah, the
like,
Ass Boys
versus like Jungle Boy's like pure face. You could let the heel drop that line here and there, and it would actually make sense. But yeah, what faction are the Ass Boys part of?
Yeah, Jungle Boy. Hey, they're part of the Ass Boy faction.
Besides that,
yeah. Oh yeah. I keep forgetting they're the Firm Asses.
the Firm Ass Boys.
Firm Ass Boys. Those are the boys. They're firm asses. Boys. Wait, where are we going with the Firm Ass Boys?
Oh no, you just went to Ass Boys, and I just wanted to throw out, or you brought up the Ass Boys because of name stuff, and I just wanted to give it a chance to say Firm Ass Boys.
Oh, yep. See, you got me. Firm Ass.
Try to have a little bit of fun because this show was not fun.
No, it's a fun ass show. Trust me. Look.
The eternal optimist over there right now.
Yeah, speaking of the Firm, Lee Moriarty.
I will say there was a part of this that actually made me laugh a little bit. I mean, it's towards the end.
When Hook walks up?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking back to what Lee Moriarty said, and like I was thinking, I'm like, there's not really anything that he said that you could think back on, because basically it was just I went toe to toe with John Moxley. I didn't win, but watch out for me because I lost to a guy that's won against everybody else.
I will say how he delivered it and his energy and stuff for the context of this promo was pretty good.
Yeah, Tiger style.
But yeah, he says he can hang with anybody, so now it's time to get back on track and go for some gold. Stokely pops in, says, yeah, so he's talking to anybody around here that has a championship and basically laying out an open challenge, which was answered, but not verbally because this man never speaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hook just walks up with the title on his belt, or on his shoulder.
In the silliest way ever, very in a fun, definitely for humor kind of way. Lee Moriarty is not a big dude, but Stokely is a lot smaller and he hides behind them.
Stokely is terrified of Hook. Apparently Hook is the only person that scares Stokely because, well, then again, Stokely's gonna back away when there's a fight happening. But Hook just had to walk up and Stokely was like, nah. Not messing with that dude. He just wears hoodies and eats chips. I don't like that.
Because see, if Stokely's going to beat somebody's ass, it's going to be on the mic. Problem is, Hook doesn't talk.
Yeah. No, you got but it's okay though. We got one of our matches for the pre-show though. Well, not confirmed, but Hookley or Lee or
Don't worry, everybody, your stream is not having issues.
Yeah, I'm having issues, that's all.
Hook versus Lee Moriarty.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Hook versus Lee Moriarty on the pre-show for the FTW title.
Sad part is as you and I talked for the show, it's actually one of the matches so far that actually can make you stop and think twice, just because the Firm, you know, they're supposed to be like this top faction. So you expect them to get some W's. You could see them trying to pick up some of those lower titles kind of situation. But Hook isn't dropping this title.
Obviously not. What up, though, Top Hat Boulevard?
Words are tough.
Can't speak. English is tough. I'm top roped. I'm toked.
Well, let's go from one part of the firm to the other part of the firm, sort of, because we found out who Ethan Page's challenger or next match is going to be in the Eliminator tournament when Brian Cage and Dante. Oh no, that's on the other side. We already talked about that match. That was Bandito.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be
Bandito versus Page, and then Cage versus Starks. Well, actually, technically, we don't know about the Starks part yet.
Who's Starks even facing?
He's supposed to face Lance Archer, the guy who beat his ass on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, come on. Lance Archer got to beat his ass on Wednesday just because he's losing the match.
Lance Archer had to show up for worse for the first time in like months to do a quick little like 30-second video of ramming his head into the garage door just to lose, and then he'll probably disappear again for another 3 months.
Yeah. AEW loves to use Lance Archer as
Roosh before
guy.
Roosh.
Yeah. He's basically he is Roosh before Roosh. Damn.
We'll continue on right there to another match that's a part of that tournament, though, which was Brian Cage versus Dante Martin. This was before we found out that his brother was back, and they announced that in a funny way. If Dante's on the card and his brother's going to return, why wouldn't you do something with that? Like, have the embassy go to attack Dante after and have his brother come out or something. At least, like, if he's back, do something with it.
Ah, man. Just announce a match.
I mean, I know nobody cares about Darius because he has, like, had 3 matches in 2 years. Yeah. But having a moment like that is how you can build like a start of a story, a little bit of character to it, as opposed to, hi, now Dante Martin's teaming with this random person that we haven't seen that much of. Oh, that's his brother?
Yeah. They could definitely have done that at least. Like, hey, Darius is back. But at the same time, I could see it being like let's not make Dante look weak, as we've been kind of building him up a little bit.
I mean, Cage is a part of
Although
a big ass faction.
This match, I thought, but then when I thought, so before Rampage, I thought that Dante was going to win this match, and then a little bit like during Rampage, I came to my senses because like, all right, you need the big heel against Ricky Starks to make Ricky Starks look really good when he goes against Ethan Page.
Yeah, because he's going to go through two monsters to get to that finals.
Yeah. He's taking out all these monsters. Now he's got to face Ethan Page, who's going to win because he's got plot armor.
But that's a weird way to refer to Stokely when Stokely is one of your favorites. Not literally Stokely, but it's just everything that's going on story-wise. Stokely, MJF, the firm.
Ethan Page. Stokely. Just dick riding. Dick riding Obama.
So, those in the chat, if you didn't know, we had a good old time on Dynamite when we were expecting it to be more of an average one. One of the biggest moments coming out of it was...
Oh yeah, Stokely said that MJF was dick riding.
John Moxley.
Dick riding John Moxley, y'all.
Turned around, said it again, and one of the worst things you can do is be dick riding without a license. Doubled down on saying dick riding on TV.
He said dick riding 2 times. 2 times. That's more times than I've been a heavyweight champion. More times than I've been a heavyweight champion, guys.
We'll find something we can make you a heavyweight champion of, and then you'll still need to do it one more time.
They didn't need to know that, you dick. You know, they could have been like, oh, he was the champion 1 time. He just wasn't 2 times.
Yeah, we'll just start referring to you as former champion, so that way, how many... Doesn't matter how many times.
You already fucked me. All right? My asshole is loose now. Thank you. Dickwad.
Hey, you just said it's more times than you've been cheated. Oh, because yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brian Cage won. If you can tell from the commentary, he won, or from the ticker up top. The one thing that was kind of nice, and your description was fun. Dante Martin turning himself into a football and just passing himself to Brian Cage on the outside.
It was dope. He Tom Brady'd himself because he made Brian Cage look so good. Just throwing himself into Brian Cage's arms like a football.
Right into suplex position, pretty much.
Yeah, good job, Dante. Yeah, like in perfect suplex position, dove right into his arms. It's like, that is one hell of an assist. That's motherfucking Jason Kidd out there. Ah, man, I'm hot. And not physically, just like, you know.
I'll knock out
superficially, I should say, you know. Just actually hot.
Knock out a couple of these quick little things that are super quick. Lexi was backstage with Death Triangle. Pac basically points out that both of the Lucha Bros lost at their chance to be champions. So they have to defend the trios titles by any means necessary, smacking that hammer up against that gold.
Man.
You're going to lose the titles and your partners real soon.
Like you try to cheat and you don't even, You lost the belt, you bastard.
And then there was a segment with Renee Paquette backstage with Claudio. I don't even know why they were about to talk. Hager pops up and tries to shake his hand like, come on, man, forget about the recent past. We used to be a
we're
team.
Bros.
We're a good team.
I love this hat.
The random just tossing of it at the very end.
Yeah, we were friends. We were a good team. I love this hat.
I can't remember exactly how he said this, but he basically went like, hey, you're a good wrestler, but you were a great sports entertainer. And maybe you should try sports entertaining again. BCC couldn't get Garcia to switch, so now they're trying to get Claudio to switch to JAS.
Hey. Claudio just doesn't seem like he would be able to fit the JAS. I just don't see it at all.
I'm trying to think of anywhere that he would fit that would make any more sense than where he is at, and there's nothing.
No.
Because basically who you are, Claudio, is a very good professional wrestler. Your character is lacking.
Hey, he has he's got that swing though. And he carries grown men away like children. So remember that. Okay. I don't know what else is going on, but those are two things that are good and I like.
I'm looking at the two things that are left on the show. One is going to go very quick. The other one probably will also go very quick as well, but I don't know. At least there was a funny moment to it. And also, fuck QT Marshall.
QT Marshall.
Oh, I'm just going to roll right into that one since I already had to drop that name. The man pile drived Danhausen on the steel steps.
Get him, QT. Get him.
The only thing, I mean, that's already a problem. The only bigger problem to this was the fact that it happened during picture-in-picture. Like,
yeah. Hey, Danhausen had to get his ass beat. It ain't QT fault.
They could have did that like right before picture-in-picture. And then
real gangster. Yeah.
Let the health/carrying of Danhausen away be like how you start picture-in-picture.
QT's a real gangster. That's all it is. Got rid of Danhausen during the commercials.
Are you saying that the factory is just a front for organized crime?
I hope so.
I mean, Cole Carter used to go.
Got some crazy stuff going on.
Cole Carter back in his days in NXT, his name was something that had 2 D's in it. It basically, they used to always refer to him as like 2 dimes. So, I mean, that kind of fits going back to gangster and old school stuff.
Okay.
But
gangster.
The promo tonight for the main event. Well, you got Best Friends and Orange Cassidy on one side, which means 95% of the words came from Lee Johnson.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty simple. Lee Johnson just says, well, the best part of this is he says that Orange Cassidy at least isn't a cosplayer like Danhausen.
He threw some extra insults in there too.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what else there was, but yeah, he's just like, yeah, he's not a cosplayer like Danhausen, but I'm gonna beat him. And then Danhausen's pissed.
I'll rip your teeth out.
Like the only time he's ever been pissed. He's like, I'll rip your teeth out. And then Cassidy just pulls out a mic out of his jacket real slow.
Won't hold his own title up. You have Trent holding it up in the background, but he just randomly...
Trent's holding the belt.
Microphone.
He just grabs this microphone out of his jacket. He's like, well, looks like there's been enough talk. Mark Henry, Cassidy, I got this.
And at the same time, when Mark's trying to get started, you still hear Orange Cassidy go, it's time. Like faintly in the background, like he was trying to continue it. I feel like this is just slowly building for a time that Orange Cassidy actually says the whole damn thing.
One day he's going to do it. And then I'm going to be like, all right, let Mark Henry do it.
I hope the time that happens is because it goes so well that you see Mark Henry just like crack up, shake his head, and walk off the screen as Orange Cassidy's just finishing it. So at least it's not just his like tone of voice going through the whole thing.
Okay. I could say
that. I also kind of just want to see Mark Henry crack up on screen and just lose it.
Mark Henry just seems like he'd just be so
jolly looking.
He's like it just seems like the kind of person where if he laughs, you probably just have to laugh with him. Just look at his smile. And like all these wrestlers talking mad shit, and he's just standing back like, I could kill all you guys with one hand. This is great.
It'd be great, like, you know how Jericho's going around attacking everybody? Have Mark Henry once, like, have somebody try to mess with him. And then you see that they try to mess with him, and it just walks up and, like, picks up their car as they try to drive away, and it's a front-wheel drive car or something, so they can't actually move. It's like, what are you gonna do?
I like that. Yeah, but like have Jericho and his reign of attacking commentators go after Mark Henry and just be like, really?
But this match at ringside was just a numbers game for the Factory. The entire match. Just repeatedly attacking all the members of Best Friends out there to help. QT doing devastating maneuvers to Danhausen on the steps. Asshole.
R.I.P.
But towards the end, so I spent more of this match in watching like Lee Johnson, just kind of seeing him back, seeing how he moves and how he does. And I remember why I had hopes for him in the future. He moves so well. He oozes like in-ring charisma. He's super young. I look forward to hopefully a year from now he'll have kind of gotten that story to kind of build up his character where he can start to maybe have some credibility.
Yeah, I would like to see some more of him because I feel like I've seen him once other than tonight, and he was really good tonight, and just seeing how young he is, let's see him get some more work.
He's able to dodge a couple of orange punches at the end, but Orange Cassidy actually gets a win with the beach break. That doesn't happen often.
Yeah, I like that he got the win with the beach break instead of the orange punch. I prefer the beach break. I understand that the orange punch is easier for him to use against larger opponents, but someone like Lee Johnson, that's he's a little bigger than Cassidy, but not much.
It's kind of like how I would rather see Hangman use the Deadeye than the Buckshot.
Yeah, I like the Deadeye way more.
And it kind of makes sense. They are two very similar moves.
Yep. Pretty much the same.
Now, at least the orange punch you can hit a lot quicker than you can the Buckshot Lariat, because that's my biggest thing for Hangman is just at least you can kind of do something suddenly and get that big pop.
But yeah, that the buckshot lariat is it's a long wind up. It's that one wrestling finisher that you get mad at people for picking as their wrestling finisher. It's like, come on, man. Did you really have to pick that one? Like when someone picks the people's elbow.
I actually, that's the exact example I was thinking of. I was so disappointed when the rock bottom got like squashed as a finisher, and it wasn't really a finisher anymore, and we had to be stuck with the people's elbow.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of things.
But after the match, Cole Carter goes to attack after, but eats a orange punch real quick. They go do the big best friends hug, and they're, Trent and Chuck are, side by side with Orange Cassidy, and QTX like he's gonna slide into, and he thinks better of it. At this point, Cole Carter's starting to stagger back to his feet, and the best friends do the group hug to him, and he just plays off like, yeah, woo, I made it, we're friends, cool. I really thought when he turned back into that group that he was gonna get that whole cheerleader pyramid splash thing that you hate so much, and it looks terrible every time. Thank God they did not do that.
Yeah, I'm happy they got. I feel like they've gotten away from that the last couple times.
Now, that being said, I don't know if Orange Cassidy is the guy you want finishing off a powerbomb.
No, not really.
At least it sticks with the laziness gimmick, I guess, because he doesn't actually do any of the lifting up. He just slams them down.
Yeah. Like he can just
double choke slam.
Like nonchalantly just drop them.
You mean like Kevin Nash?
Yeah.
The man who doesn't believe square pizza exists in Detroit.
Let's not even talk about that again.
But yeah, it was more of they like double choke slammed him up to Orange Cassidy's head so he could slam him down on the powerbomb, which, hey, isn't that hard? I guess it's not that hard between the vertical of Cole Carter jumping and the fact that Orange Cassidy isn't tall. It's just really weird seeing people use choke slams that aren't at least like 6'8" or taller.
Yeah, when you're not like a reasonable amount taller than most people, it looks just like whatever. You choked them in and made them fall down.
At least with two people, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I want to use it in a regular capacity. Like, for two people, even if the size difference isn't there, I can see it as a table move, like 2-on-1. Mm-hmm. It also looks a lot better than trying to do like a double suplex or something, but so used to choke slams coming from big boys. Like Brian Cage is not even tall, but that dude has so much muscle. If he's facing somebody skinny, I bet a choke slam could look good.
Yeah. Basically, anything that he does that involves throwing a person looks more realistic. Because looking at him, he looks like he can throw people. Like, yeah, the other guy just looks like he throws people.
I'll still take, when talking about throwing people, I'll still take Keith Lee and Isaiah Cassidy in the ring.
Yeah. That was dynamite.
It was start off in one turnbuckle, and Keith Lee practically could have thrown him on out of the ropes on the other side of the ring because that man flew.
Yeah.
All right.
Of Isaiah Cassidy, where's Private Party at?
I know they recently did something on one of the YouTube shows because I saw a clip of it. Or maybe that will air next week, but I'm pretty sure it would have been this week from when I watched it. But
made it on the streets and then we made it to the bigger leagues.
She wasn't in the match, but I don't know. I guess we'll call it the main event. Because last thing that we're gonna talk about is just gonna end with Jade.
Oh yeah. Jade. Straight money. Straight money. Nyla Rose had her squash match against
Kayla
a
Sparks.
person. Oh yeah, her. A person.
It was funny because at some point during this match, commentary even said something like it was a quote unquote open challenge, like they were questioning the validity of it.
Yeah, it was just someone that came out and let Nyla Rose do all of Jade's moves to her
and mocked the shit out of her. Now, it was weird though, because when she went to do a powerbomb, she stopped herself, hit Jaded for the win. But when she turned her over, and kind of like how Jade always licks her hand that one time, now it's weird because Nyla always used to lick her hand too, just in a different way. It's the whole native beast and that whole aspect. But she was licking her hand like it was a dog and you were handing her a treat. Over and over and over. So I have a question for you though.
She had fun though.
If you were Jade, why the fuck would you wait until the end of the match to come out?
Because TV.
I'd be out there. Remember how Nyla was
That's
out during
the
her
reason.
entire match doing commentary with Vicky?
Yeah.
That's what I would have been doing. You want that title? Come out right after Nyla's entrance and be like, I'm going to be right here.
It's TV, man. Jade is doing the babyface thing during this feud, which is real weird because she's been a heel this whole time. Maybe they're moving Jade towards the babyface idea.
Which is going to mean she's going to lose that title faster than you thought she would have.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I quit that idea. Keep Jade with the belt, please.
So
Keep
they
relevant.
come running out. Nyla knocks out both the baddies right off bat, but then Jade is in the ring. Pump kick sends Nyla flying out of the ring.
Looking like money.
Mm-hmm. Did she dust off her? She like dusted off her shoes after.
Nothing else. Jade hitting that pump kick, looking like money.
Now, what sucks is, as much as that was kind of nice to see, because a good Jade pump kick is a good kick. When she doesn't do it well, it looks terrible.
Yep.
But then we get to the whole Jade and the baddies chasing after Nyla group thing, and the awkward with the security in between to separate them, which every time they've done this has been poorly executed and looking awkward as hell.
Yeah. So
like Jade and them are basically stuck waiting, hoping that to let security stop them.
It's like, because it's like, yeah, like Jade is too fast for them or something, like, because she runs past them and has to slow down and let them catch her.
Also,
maybe Jade's just got way too much energy for them. She's not ready.
I want to ask another favor of the AEW, Tony Khan, all of them, for the women. Just be done with Marina Shafir. I don't want people to lose their jobs or anything like that, but she does not need to be on TV. She provides nothing to the TV product. Keep her on YouTube as much as you want. Train her up, see what you can do with her. But there's got to be somebody better that you can put alongside Nyla if you want to have somebody alongside Nyla.
Not a huge Marina Shafir fan, but if they're pairing Nyla with someone, who else do they have?
I'm sure there's plenty on those YouTube channels at some point. You want to know who I would take over them? Because at least there's something interesting about them. Give her the Renegade Twins.
Oh gosh.
I don't know, because you don't. It's not going to take much to kind of give a little bit of character to that. At least I don't know, but there's literally. Is there anyone worse than Marina Shafir?
Hitler.
Is there any woman wrestler on AEW's roster or Ring of Honor's roster that is worse at a TV product than Marina Shafir?
I don't know.
So
I mean, I don't. That's hard to say. That's really hard for me to say because there's so many women on the roster that you see like once or twice, and then nothing.
So with that being said, if you know Marina Shafir provides literally absolutely nothing, and it's continuing to be not good, wouldn't you want to pull the trigger on somebody else? But like, all right, this is failing. Let's move you on out and see if we can move somebody else in here that maybe it works.
As long as we find somebody else that we want to push there, yeah. I don't know. I guess they really don't give her any spots at all besides coming out with Nyla.
Oh, no. Recently, I did hear about, from the way people talked about it and what I saw, he may have given the like worst promo in AEW history. I forgot what show it was on. Maybe I'll find it, but everyone's like, she seemed like a crazy person, but she also seemed like she was trying to repeat the same thing and nothing was. Just everybody that saw, people that normally wouldn't even talk about it were talking about it as being that bad. So that's unfortunate. And then when she's wrestled, she hasn't looked good. Like, she looks like Jade at 5-0 bad. And Jade's improved a lot. So imagine her like in her early days. You could look at her and tell it's not good. Marina Shafir's had years. Shafir has had years of training.
Yeah, she's definitely not clean at all in the ring.
You know what? If Blackpool Combat Club ever wants to add a woman to maybe counteract the women in...
Oh, that would be good for her.
She doesn't have to talk. She has an MMA background. You could try to lean into it. And they would be a good group to try to transition that into some kind of wrestling for her.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good for her. Yeah, I would be down to see that happen. Do that for Marina Shafir, Blackpool Combat Club. She needs your help.
And then if you're gonna, you don't even have to put anyone with Nyla. That's part of the benefit of her being a powerhouse.
Yeah. So yeah, Nyla doesn't need help. Nyla's okay by herself.
Or you know what? If you do want to give her someone diminutive that she can kind of like boss around, and you can have like a comedy aspect to her or something like that. But I don't need to see Shafir on my TV anymore.
It's all right. Marina Shafir, I'm rooting for you.
I don't want anyone to fail. This isn't working.
But yeah, they definitely got to figure out something else for her.
And her facial expression, like Nyla's out there having fun, and Shafir just never seems to kind of even like fit in with the group dynamic either. I don't know. I'm also trying to stretch this out because god damn, this was such a bad. Okay, now that we're at the end of the show, are you going to try to be optimistic?
It was Rampage, man. AEW Rampage.
I was talking to a friend of ours, and I said this would be like if they tried to treat Sunday Night Heat like SmackDown, but gave none of the resources. At least, like, I don't know, at some point Sunday Night Heat was like a big deal, but that didn't last long. And it quickly came down to the equivalent of what AEW's YouTube shows are. They're trying to keep it a big deal, but it's very much sliding down into that
yeah, because like even as a little kid I didn't watch Sunday Night Heat.
I watched it on occasion because I remember, like, you remember Halftime Heat, the empty arena brawl. Like, there was times early on in Sunday Night Heat that they actually made it meaningful.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
But
I remember that.
After that,
I remember the good stuff, but other than that, yeah, Heat was boo boo.
They should have just kept it to what it was like originally, which was like the equivalent of the buy-in for AEW pay-per-views. It was that free hour before WWE pay-per-views. They kept it to like a special like that, it probably would have been at least decent, but man, that died quick.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't do anything with it. They needed to work on it more, like how, like you mentioned, SmackDown. WWE pushed SmackDown real hard, and now look at it. SmackDown is their more watched show.
I mean, and Powerhouse Hobbs looking good, just unfortunately in ways that I don't think most people would care about. I don't know. Maybe one day. But I do also understand from the time slot. I've heard people talk about it. Like, you kind of got to start Rampage off hot because it starts at 10 o'clock at night. So you want to intro it to try to get people to watch and then try to retain as much as possible, versus you start off slower and then try to build to a main event. Well, by the time main event gets there, it's 11 o'clock and you fed them a pile of shit. But they can't do like what we're used to.